Alright, you guys, here's LP. Took me a little bit to start it up because I stopped my previous video. But anyway, I'm running at super low tire pressure, 15 pounds of pressure on those Teravail Honcho durable tread in the back, in a 2.4 tire, and I'm running and it's on a DT Swiss XM481 29 millimeter internal width rim, and on the front I'm running the Teravail Honcho 2.6, so 2/10 of an inch bigger, and it's on a race face arch, the ARC35, which is internal 35 millimeter width, so it's a wider rim in front, and on my fully rigid single speed, as you guys know, that's what I ride most of the time. I have been riding my other bike, but this makes 3 days in a row riding this, 3 days in a row riding down El Prieto, and 3 days in a row enjoying being outdoors. You guys, you need this. But I kept the same setup as yesterday because these Honcho tires just feel really nice, and I couldn't believe the low pressure that rear tire was able to sustain and take this type of terrain. That one's always a little bit tricky. It's really sharp, but I like to stay clipped in and have no dab ride. I have SPD pedals, so you're clipped in, you're locked into your pedals. You have to twist to release, kind of like a binding of a ski, if you will. Not quite the same, but similar, the same concept. For those of you guys that don't really know about the SPD clipless design that Shimano made. Shimano is a brand of pedals I use, and brand of brakes and gears. I'm a Shimano guy, and I know a lot of guys like the SRAM stuff. Hello. The SRAM stuff is really nice too, but I've had Shimano and been used to it. I know exactly how to wrench my bikes with my Shimano stuff, especially I like to lead my brakes and set up my brakes and set up my gears. It just, I guess I could figure out the SRAM, but in this, obviously there's no gears to set up, right? It's one gear all year. You guys that follow me on Instagram, same thing, Ride for Life, Fit for Life on Instagram. You might see that hashtag at the bottom of my photos, and I've been using that for a while with my older single speed bikes, so I'm kind of taking it easy. I definitely just want to get down this trail and have a nice, clean, no dab ride. And it And I'm really liking the way this bike is reacting with these tires. Hello. Thank you. Just me. So it's really kind of the perfect combination of not too aggressive, so easy enough to climb with, but still aggressive enough to handle this chunky marbled rocks over loose and hard packed trail. You see it, you can tell that's how it is. We haven't had a rain in a long time, literally all summer, so it's really dry, and we've had all these fires. California, Southern California just has no humidity, so the air, when it's hot, it's really hot and dry, and it just sucks up all the moisture out of the dirt. So that's why we have this sandy type stuff. And here's like the sharpest turn. You don't want to go over that side. You don't want to go over the side anywhere, but that's kind of a turn where you see the side and you're kind of close to it. This is the most technical section for my fully rigid bike to get over, because I've got no shocks to absorb the rocks there. And this is the most technical climbing section that I just have to kind of motor over that. But staying clipped in is my goal, and not to dab, and be able to take every turn with my feet clipped in, not moto style. Moto style is when you put one foot down and kind of rip your rear tire around. It tears up the trails, but it is faster. And if you notice, I watched the World Cup downhill guys. They kind of moto style, but they keep their feet on the pedals the whole time, so they don't quite moto style it. But they get really low in their turns because they're just doing them so fast. On a bike like this, a single speed bike especially, having clipless SPD pedals really helps with building that extra inertia. Remember when I was saying about why I like single speed is I feel that forward momentum and that power input as I pedal, and it just gets up and pedals right over everything. Well, having the SPD pedals helps with that, and I really like that setup, and I just use it on all my bikes. So it's cooling off right now. We're at the end of October, but it's still been nice and warm during the day, like 80 degrees. It's not 80 right now. It's probably down to 70. I felt my rim hit a little bit right there. So that's the thing, when you don't have the tire inserts, when you're plowing through stuff at a low tire pressure, you could hit your rim. And of course, if you have a tube in there, you would pinch your tube. But tubes are lame as far as I'm concerned. I don't like tubes. And the one time I tried to do the tube with the Tannis Armor tire liner thing, I didn't like it at all. It made my tires feel hard as rocks, and I felt like I lost all the advantages of tubeless without any of the advantages of having like a little cushion volume spacer in there. I only feel that cushion volume spacer with my rim packs, and I'm sure it's the same with Cush Core and some of the other brands. So you have that insert that is kind of directed at the, well, it's the volume spacer like you would have in a shock. So it's all the way at the end of your travel next to your rim, where it counts. There we go, guys. That was a clean ride and another good ride. If you guys want to follow me on Strava, you could see my rides, and you can see I'm not the fastest guy. Even though I have a really light single speed bike, I am definitely not the fastest guy up the hill, and I am not the fastest guy down the hill.